You should know, yes.
Man, and Bill Shope, good morning. How are you?
Not too bad. Just keeping busy.
That's what we like to hear. Yeah, I know that they were in Columbus this past Monday.
Yeah, don't remind me.
I know. I regret it. I really do. Not just getting up there and going. But anywho, I will not make that mistake ever again when they come through town.
No. And, I tell you what, I urge everybody to get out and look on YouTube, catch some of their videos, and you know how I feel about the Beatles. I usually don't like people doing Beatle covers, but man, they do an unbelievably good Beatles cover.
They're just so good. True musicianship right there.
Yes.
Well, it is 7:01 and time to take a look at news. This morning, our news brought to us by Smith's Home Pharmacy. We got 3 convenient locations for you, Portsmouth, Midford, and South Webster. Can get your prescription filled pretty darn quick, and there's free same-day delivery. And here's Bill Shope with what you need to know.
Thank you, Holly, and good morning, everyone. A pair of Scioto County residents were each given lengthy prison sentences following a 2-day jury trial in the Scioto County Court of Common Pleas. 51-year-old Johnny Dale Fitzpatrick and 42-year-old Brandy Angelique Bevins, both of Portsmouth, each faced 9 felony counts related to drug trafficking and tampering with evidence. Now, following less than 2 hours of deliberations, the jury convicted Fitzpatrick of each and every charge he faced, while Bevins was convicted of 8 of the 9 charges. Judge Mark Kuhn announced the defendant's sentences, with Fitzpatrick given a mandatory 25-year prison term, while Bevins was sentenced to a 15-year mandatory prison term. Now, all this comes as a result of the Southern Ohio Drug Task Force and the Portsmouth Police Department's search of a Portsmouth residence, revealing that there was significant drug trafficking from the domicile. Fitzpatrick and Bevins were the residents of the home and had allowed the individuals to utilize the residence for the purpose of trafficking a large amount of drugs for a significant period of time prior to the execution of the search warrant. And now, we've been talking about it this morning, but the campus of Shawnee State University, it's going to be an extremely busy place over the next 2 days. The executive director of the Scioto County EMA, Larry Mullins, tells us why.
Well, if you're down around the campus of Shawnee State University this morning and tomorrow morning, you're going to see a lot of law enforcement presence as there is an exercise taking place both today and tomorrow. So starting around 8 o'clock in the morning both days, you'll see large law enforcement presence, a lot of police cars and flashing lights and things like that.
Mullins described the scenario for us.
The special response teams from around southeastern Ohio are conducting a homeland security drill in which the scenario is that there's an active aggressor on a make-believe campus called Columbia State University. So once again, don't be alarmed. It is only an exercise today and tomorrow down at Shawnee State.
Now, a recent change will make it easier for Ohioans to transition off food assistance benefits. Eric Brown has more.
The Ohio Department of Job and Family Services is now offering tiered eligibility, so people who earn more will just receive fewer benefits. This change is meant to prevent people from not accepting more work or pay to continue to receive benefits. Meanwhile, we're still waiting on a decision from the USDA after Ohio Lieutenant Governor John Husted asked the government to waive a rule. He says as many as 50,000 young Ohioans are not getting jobs because they fear the wages they earn could cut their families' benefits. Wages of 18 to 21-year-olds count against SNAP benefits under USDA policy. Husted wants that to change.
And cleanup efforts from flooding and wind damage following Hurricane Helene's remnants are ongoing in New Boston. Village Administrator Steve Hamilton gives us an update.
The cleanup process in the village of New Boston is going okay at this point in time. The service department men have been doing a lot of handwork with flat shovels and this and that, and plus using equipment too, but they have moved over 60 to 75 ton of mud just off 2 street and 2 alleyways. At this point in time, the residence is starting to set out flood damaged appliances, stuff that was in their garages, this and that. So we are trying to get the roads cleaned off.
From Mix 99.3 News, I'm Bill Shope.
Oh, thank you, Bill.
You're welcome, Holly Gale.
Yeah, I know. In a news cut you had earlier, it was him talking about DeWine declaring a state of emergency. And I just see on his Facebook post, Governor Mike DeWine, about 14 hours ago, declared one for Lawrence, Jackson, Pike, and Scioto counties. Yep. Now, out of the 4 of those, I believe, did I hear you correct that you said that Jackson got hit the hardest?
That it was Mr. Hayes said that.
Okay.
I disagreed with Mr. Hayes. I think Sauter County got hit the hardest.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't see any pictures out of Jackson, but obviously I saw the pictures from down here.
Now, they did get hit. I mean, all the counties that DeWine declared that state of emergency for did get hit, but, maybe it's just because I'm a resident of the area. I've never seen flooding down around the hospital, High Street, Grandview, Shawnee, that I saw over the weekend.
Yeah, definitely an impressive amount of flooding that happened here.
Yes.
It's kind of crazy.
And at SSU as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, now I know that you love music probably more than most. How would you feel about Pink Floyd?
I love Pink Floyd.
Great. Did you see where they sold their music catalog?
Yes, I did.
Or at least they're gearing up to sell it. Well, in case you haven't heard, y'all, they've put aside years of infighting
to make a lot of money.
To finally come to an agreement to sell their stuff to Sony Music. Apparently, it's worth about $400 million.
It's going to be a dime, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's crazy. But, not only does it include their whole music catalog, it also includes the name and the likeness. So, with AI, get ready for some more Pink Floyd albums, I guess.
I hope not. I hope it doesn't go that route. David Gilmour had a solo album that came out just a couple of weeks ago, and it's fantastic work.
Really?
Yes, it is. I encourage any Pink Floyd fan to listen to it.
And I'm not going to lie, I never really got too much into Pink Floyd, but the one time that I listened to the entire album was whenever we had that eclipse. And I went up to Dayton to go get into the Totality Zone, and they did the Dark Side of the Moon. They started it to where it would get to the exact point at the exact time when they played the exact album. It was really cool. But, yeah.
Do that sometime with The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I've heard that. What is up with
it? It works.
It's kind of spooky.
Yes, it is.
All right. Movie night at the station. Chuck, you in?
Absolutely.
All right. All right. Well, thanks for checking in with us, Bill. We appreciate you. News this morning brought to us by Smith's Home Medical, and we got Chuck and sports coming up.
Since 1925, Smith's Pharmacy has been serving the greater Portsmouth area, and the same great folks who own Smith's Pharmacy also own Smith's Home Medical. Smith's Home Medical offers lift chairs, hospital beds, wheelchairs, nebulizers, oxygen, and much more. Smith's Home Medical is located at 743 2nd Street in Portsmouth, along with Smith's Pharmacy. Your home medical and pharmaceutical needs all in the same building. Now that's convenience. Need even more convenience? Smith's Pharmacy and Home Medical offer free delivery. Visit Smith's, where they treat you like family.
And it's time for another look at sports. This morning, our sports brought to us by Ron Wright Auto Sales. That's right, they'll treat you right. And they're located right there on 11th Street. If you need a glorious used vehicle, they've got them cranked up. And I tell you what, that's where we got our mixed van from.
Yeah.
Is that called a van? Like a little Sprinter van? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The type of van we got now?
It is.
Yeah, which is absolutely decked to the nines. And so if you pass by Ron Wright's Auto Sales, you're going to see it sitting there in the parking lot.
They're kind enough to let us store it there as well.
Thanks,
Yes.
Uncle Joe.
Thanks, Uncle Joe.
A little bit of family favors there. Appreciate it. But yeah, great crew, and I highly recommend them. They will be rascally, mostly Dave, but in like a good way. Like he's a lovable rascal.
There's a lot of good conversation to be had. A lot of conversation to be had with Dave.
And a lot of conversation you do not expect to happen. But now that I'm an adult, it's a lot of fun because, we're cousins, of course.
Yeah.
And so I can remember when I was a little kid, there'd be times that his wife, Lisa, would be like, Dave, you better stop. And I'm like, what are they talking about? Now that I'm an adult, I know what's going on. So that's some good stuff.
The reins don't have to be pulled in any longer, right?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes maybe they should. No, I'm just playing. But Chuck is here with sports, and, well, tell us what we need to know.
Well, let's start with the MLB playoffs. The wild card series, which got underway on Tuesday, are the best 2 out of 3 games. So 3 of those 4 series actually concluded yesterday in sweeping fashion. The Tigers knocked off the Astros 5-2. Detroit wins that series in 2 games and will advance to face the Cleveland Guardians Saturday at 1:08 in Game 1 of that divisional series. The Royals doubled up on the Baltimore Orioles yesterday, 2-1, so Kansas City wins that series in 2 and will advance to face the Yankees Saturday evening at 6:38. The Padres prevailed over the Braves 5-4. San Diego wins that series in sweeping fashion. The Padres will visit the LA Dodgers Saturday night at 8:38. The only wild card series that will continue on to a third and decisive game this evening will be the one pitting the Brewers against the Mets. Milwaukee staved off elimination yesterday, defeating the Metropolitans 5-3. That series is now even at a game apiece. The third and decisive game will be this evening at 7 o'clock. Staying with MLB news, the Columbus Dispatch is reporting that the Cincinnati Reds and the Cleveland Guardians could be looking for new television homes next season. The Reds and Guardians were among 11 MLB clubs dropped for the 2025 season by the Diamond Sports Group, the parent company of Bally Sports, which announced this news yesterday. Diamond declared bankruptcy in March of 2023. Diamond is not renewing contracts for the Milwaukee Brewers, Minnesota Twins, and Texas Rangers. 7 other teams, the Detroit Tigers, Kansas City Royals, LA Angels, Miami Marlins, St. Louis Cardinals, and Tampa Bay Rays had contracts, through the 2025 year of 2025, and will either have to negotiate a new contract or find a different television operator. Diamond will continue to broadcast Atlanta Braves games as their only baseball partnership. Week 5 of the NFL season gets underway tonight in Atlanta, where the Falcons will entertain Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. On Sunday, the Cincinnati Bengals will have a ginormous divisional matchup against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. That'll be a 1 o'clock kickoff at Paycor Stadium. Also Sunday at 1, the Browns will visit the nation's capital to face the red-hot Commanders. Again, both of those games Sunday will begin at 1. Tonight in college football, there are a couple of matchups. Texas State will visit Troy at 7, and Sam Houston will play at UTEP tonight at 9. Tomorrow in high school football, the Total Media Group of Portsmouth will present 3 games live. Here on Mix 99.3, you'll hear Valley at West. That's also the Appalachian Marketing Media video stream game of the week, so you'll be able to watch that contest and hear it live on WNXTradio.com. Tomorrow evening on Fox Sportsmouth AM 1260 and 95.7 FM, you'll hear Portsmouth entertain Fairland. And tomorrow night on WNXT2, you'll hear Wheelersburg host Oak Hill. To hear WNXT2, just go to the Local Happenings app or go to WNXTradio.com and click on the appropriate button. To Saturday night on Classic Rock 107.5 The Breeze, you'll be able to tune in as the Green Bobcats visit the Notre Dame Titans. Pre-game coverage at all of our high school football games this weekend will commence at 6:30, leading up to the 7 o'clock kickoffs. Staying with high school sports, the Division II District Golf Tournament Finals took place at Crown Hill yesterday. The top 2 finishing schools and individuals advanced to state. Westfall won in team competition with a team score of 325. Ironton advanced to the state as the runner-up with a team score of 326. Fairland's Jeremiah Pfizer was low medalist with a score of 76. Hill advanced to state along with yesterday's runner-up, Ironton's Carson Blankenship, who shot a 77. State competition will be October 13th and 14th at the Firestone North Course in Akron. Yesterday in boys high school soccer, Northwest knocked off Ripley 4-3. In girls soccer, Ripley was a winner over Northwest 6-0. And in girls volleyball, Eastern Pike prevailed over Notre Dame in 4 games, and Benton County was victorious over Chesapeake in 4. Your Portsmouth Insurance Sports Time is 7:14. Portsmouth Insurance is a TAH benefits partner. Call Gary Duzan for all of your employee benefit needs. And that is a look at sports.
Well, thanks, Chuck.
You're welcome, Holly.
And real quick, last night, as I was falling asleep, I decided to throw on Beckham. Have you ever gotten to watch the Beckham documentary?
No, I haven't.
No,
is it really good?
It's pretty decent. Yeah, I mean, just watching him rise through the ranks as a young kiddo with Manchester United, then going on to play for England, and then I fell asleep. So I'm not sure what happens next, but I know that he gets married to Posh.
And they live happily ever after. Yes.
Well,
you had me at Posh.
No, real talk. I mean, well, they open up the series with him and his colony of beehives. Okay, so he's living the life. He's done pretty darn well for himself. But yeah, I'm really excited because I saw where Lionel Messi scored 2 goals against the Columbus. Okay, I'm not excited that he scored 2 goals against Columbus Crew.
I was going to say, Holly, who are you rooting for here?
Yeah, but I mean, I think that he's going to bring a lot of cameras and a lot of eyes to the sport here in the States because obviously it's so huge everywhere else, and we're a little bit behind the times, I think. But
very much. I mean, the Columbus Crew won it last year, and I was actually in Columbus the night that they won it. We're in a sports bar type setting, and they didn't have it on one single television.
Yeah, bizarre, right?
I mean, it is a very popular sport everywhere but here in comparison to American football, basketball, baseball. People who are into it, much like hockey, they're really, really into it. I mean, it's almost cultish-like, and I mean, it's an amazing sport. I mean, incredible talent and skill required to play it, but it just hasn't. As a whole, not overgeneralizing here, but you don't have the national outcry for having to watch soccer yet. It might change. It might evolve.
Well, I think that a big part is that the U.S. is just so big. Yeah.
It is. It is. It depends on what part of the U.S. you're going to.
Yeah. But anyways, Chuck, all right, thank you so much for the sports update. We'll check
Yep.
in with you later. And we got traffic and weather together up next.
When shopping for a vehicle that's right for you, make the right choice. Visit Ron Wright Auto Sales in Portsmouth. Ron Wright Auto Sales strives to get you in a newer vehicle with an affordable payment. Besides cars, Ron Wright Auto Sales specializes in late model trucks and SUVs. All inventory is available to see online at ronwrightautosales.com. The number is 355-CARS. Ron Wright Auto Sales, 1555 11th Street, Portsmouth. They'll treat you right.
And taking a look at our traffic, a service of the Scioto River, open 7 days a week with those legendary chicken, steaks, ribs, and so much more. For our traffic, no accidents. Yes, we do have an accident. I just got this on my desk. US 23 in Piketon, northbound side at the Scioto River Bridge, closed down. We got reports of that. There's an accident, but our traffic tracker couldn't quite see exactly what was going on, but we just know that it is closed up there, northbound side, Scioto River Bridge. So if you are passing up through Piketon and you want to give us a call and tell us what it kind of looks like at this point, we'd love to hear from you. 354-1993. Also, let's keep in mind the megaloads are coming through, leaving at 8:15 this morning. There's 3 of them, but they're kind of smaller. They're going to be going pretty fast. It shouldn't impede traffic too much. But tomorrow, McDermott Pond Creek Road in Rush Township is going to be closed between the railroad tracks and Barker Street because of the McDermott Fall Festival. That'll be closed tomorrow and Saturday. And that's your traffic, a service of the Scioto River, open 7 days a week.
The weather, a service of Monroe Frame Collision and Now Wheel Alignment. Monroe's is your full-service body and maintenance company with 30 years of service in 4 locations: Portsmouth, Ashland, Jackson, and Chillicothe. Family-owned and car owner-friendly. Call 353-7279 for Monroe's Frame Collision and Now Wheel Alignment.
First alert forecast from WSAZ. Dense fog advisory this morning, but that fog will eventually lift for sunshine and a pleasant afternoon. Temperatures sneaking into the mid and upper 70s after starting off in the lower 50s. Mostly clear skies start the night, but then some clouds will show up late in the south. Expect another round of that fog too. Lows in the 50s, partly to mostly sunny skies on Friday. Temperatures in the 80s.
I'm WSAZ News Channel 3 meteorologist Brandon Butcher on the Ohio Valley's hit music channel, Mix 99.3.
Mix 99.3. The best music variety and most fun in the morning. It's Steve Hayes and the Get Up and Go Show on WNXT AM/FM Portsmouth and on WNXTradio.com. Mix 99.3.